Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler, powered by Coolbet Canada.
Welcome to The Lock Shop, everybody. Thank you very much for being here today. We've got the O-Stream coming up in just a little bit on Edmonton Sports Talk as well. You can watch on YouTube. If you are, I see the nasty chat's already flying over there. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999 as well. And we're getting a bunch of your text messages. We continue to work our way through the show today. If you're wondering, I am not in a studio. I'm actually at the Free RV Show. Swing on by 17303 100th Ave, open today from 10 to 8, tomorrow 10 to 6, and then Sunday from 11 to 4. I just posted a video of one of these bad boys on Twitter. You're going to have to check that thing out. These things are insane. We also happen to get set up in the only place where there's natural light here, but the sun's moving past the line, so I think we'll probably be good by the time we roll through to Oil Stream today. But you know what? We're sitting here at an RV show. It should have that natural lighting. I think it's terrific. We got Jake with us today. Pat's got an NLL broadcast tonight on TSN, so he's not going to be joining us. It'll be Jake and I. Only one game in the NHL to get to tonight, but we got some NBA All-Star festivities that we can get to. A bunch of other things, obviously, that we can hit on in the world of sports as well. But like I said, swing them down. There's a bunch of places you can enter for free draws and stuff. You can come down and win an RV. They've got a QR code. You come down, you hit the scan there. You can possibly win a free RV. And then it's almost like a mini sort of camping market. They've got a bunch of little stalls set up along the way. So you want to come down. They got some deals on some Kuma gear and a bunch of other stuff here. You pick up one of these flyers when you come in, and they'll take care of you there. There's a bunch of pretty cool stuff. I don't know if I'm manly enough to use it all myself, but there's a lot of good camping stuff here. Jake, I mean, you live in Toronto. You probably don't get out camping very often, do you?
Me, myself, no. I've done a little bit of glamping. My girlfriend's family has they have a trailer that they go to in the summers. So, it's not camping by any means. You're not setting up a tent or sleeping in an RV. Closest I got, we went to Darien Lake. I guess it was 2 summers ago now. And we brought a tent, and then my buddy had like a pop-up trailer. So we did that for a couple nights for a weekend, went to a concert there. So that's probably about as close as I get. We used to actually, it's funny, you bring it up, and I'm just a lot of memories come to mind. My dad used to set up a tent in our backyard, and you just sleep out there for a night. Try to convince him he would never want to stay out there. He's like, you just the worst sleep you could possibly have. But when you're a kid, it's like, it's a fun time. It's a fun experience. You get to get outside and tent, and it's a whole process, and you're getting frustrated because it takes way longer than you hope to set up the tent and all that fun stuff, and you're doing it just for a night when you don't even need to. But yeah, just fun stuff like that. I haven't done like the full camping experience, out in the woods, but between the girlfriend's family trailer, some cottages that my friends have, I get out there. Just not quite roughing it to the extreme by any means.
Yeah, my sister always wanted to do like the backdoor camping thing when we moved, because we grew up on a farm, and then we moved into town. She was always like, "Oh, let's set up the tent, let's sleep outside." And I'm like, "Are you nuts? Why would we sleep outside when we sleep in the house?" Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But I recently became a full-blown Alberta pickup truck guy, and my wife has been she wants to start camping, but I work every single weekend throughout the summer with the Canadian Football League, so it was kind of tough. I got some time for it though. My parents have a huge RV, like they got like a motorhome, and it's fun. We went camping Canada Day long weekend down in Drumheller here, the old dinosaur park in Alberta, and it was a lot of fun. And these trailers, it's not even like the video I just posted on Twitter from the RV show here. The trailer that I went into, the fifth wheel that I went into, I swear to God, man, is nicer than probably every house I've ever lived in until the one I'm living in now. I lived when I was working radio in my 20s, and I was clearing like $580 a paycheck for 2 years. I lived in some pretty sketchy basement suites. The one I went in, it's got a fireplace in like the living room and the bedroom, and it's got a TV that comes up out of the bloody like the counter. It's nuts. The one has a fridge that is nicer than the fridge in my current home. So, I mean, you're right. I mean, we're not roughing it. Like, you're not coming down here to rough it. I'm sure they've got tents and things that you can buy as well, but you're not roughing it. But you could definitely swing on by and check out the RV show. Tommy and I are going to be here today as well. We do have some Edmonton Sports Talk stickers and some lanyards and stuff that we can give away. If you want to swing on by and just say hey to the guys, and who knows, maybe check it out. I know that if my wife was to get here before 1 o'clock today, I would probably end up buying one of these things. And I mean, I got to get out of here at 1 o'clock on the nose so she can't get here because there's a lot. And I'm sitting in a heated lawn chair right now. This thing's a chair and it's heated, which once again, I mean, is that really camping? You know, it's pretty wild. So it's a good time here in West Edmonton. And, you know, it's nice to be able to sit here and discuss this because it's a slow day in the National Hockey League. It's a little bit of a slow day in the National Hockey League. We are looking at one game tonight in the NHL. The boys are working on. They're working on.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. That might work, and then I'll turn on.
Someone was asking for a curtain in the nasty
little
chat.
Little bit higher there. There we go. Right. Now, can we lock it in there? Or are you gonna have to hold it for an hour?
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna turn on.
Okay, it's only 50 more minutes.
Yeah. Well, we got the other show after too. So
yeah,
there we go.
Exactly.
There we go. That'll work. That'll work a little bit better. Perfect. Mind you, I mean, the sunshine was kind of nice, but now we're good to go. Jake, last night, how about the Ottawa Senators, my man? You hate the Ottawa. What'd you say? You hate Ottawa Senators fans, and then that goes and happens. Can you believe that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, listen, I guess, you know, it kind of would have been a win-win for me. You know, Ottawa loses big to Anaheim after Anaheim didn't even score a goal against Montreal. But we lose the partner parlay, which is, you know, frustrating. I said last night, I texted you guys, I said I might have to be suspended for a week or something because, you know, the two picks that I end up pushing for don't fall through. You know, we had the Kings and one of the poorest efforts I've seen this season. 7-0 loss to Buffalo, and then last night Ottawa loses 5-1 to Anaheim. You know, and I texted you. I picked up Corpusalo in my main fantasy league, and he gets lit up, and I'm just like mother effing, you know, the TV and my phone, and not great. But yeah, you know, listen, I think I texted you guys this as well. We had Florida minus 151 right in the face, and they took care of business, no problem, 3-0, kind of a no sweater there. Also, we have the Rangers. I can't remember how they turned out last night. And
the Rangers won. The Rangers, they didn't start well, but they ended up rolling. We had them in regulation.
And then the Lightning, which I was big on the Lightning too. Pat just beat me to the pick in terms of Tampa. So, yeah, unfortunate one again for the Nasties. And, you know, I want to reach out and apologize to all the people watching, listening. I might need a suspension, or I just need to bounce back. And unfortunately, you know, they don't give me a good opportunity tonight with one game on the slate. So, you know, maybe I can find us one winner tonight and get in the good graces heading into the weekend for everybody.
That would probably go a long way. Evan Bouchard with an assist last night at plus 105. That was nice. We ended up hitting that one. And the Coolbet hotline of the day. I'm not sure there's a better bet in the National Hockey League. Well, we'll get to it. Austin Matthews scoring a goal goes a long way right now too. But Connor McDavid over 1.5 points, still getting that bad boy like around minus 110, minus 118, which I think you have to absolutely love. I know a few of the lock shoppers yesterday hit Connor McDavid over one. I think the Juice was suggesting it yesterday, but Connor McDavid over 1.5 assists at like plus 183, and that one hit as well. But Connor McDavid over 1.5 points. I mean, if you're not putting that on your card every single night, you're missing out on money. We hit it yesterday. It was the Coolbet hotline of the day on the Nielsen show. And I had somebody who texted in to the show a couple days ago, and they're like, hey, Dusty, I made my first bet on Coolbet the other day, and I bet Connor McDavid over 1.5 points. Should I just do this every game moving forward? And I thought, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell you no. Stay cool, bet responsibly for sure. Don't go crazy on it. But that has to be one of the better bets in the National Hockey League right now.
Yeah, it's funny. You just talk about certain bets that you just can't not ride. You mentioned Matthews. You know, obviously I'm a Leafs guy. Everyone knows that. But in one of my gambling group chats, one of my buddies calls it a system play.
Yeah.
So if Matthews doesn't score for the next game, he's always bets Matthews to score. I did it last night, jumped on it. Obviously, he had 3 last night. And another system play I usually run out anytime the Leafs are underdogs. I'd probably do the same for Edmonton if I was you guys.
Yeah.
Anytime, because you don't get them often as underdogs, especially at the book, with the amount of love they get. But anytime you can get your team as an underdog, even if it's against like a really good team, I don't know. It's hard to say no to that plus money. So that's another one I try to keep in mind. But McDavid, he's an absolute machine. He seems to take care of business so fast. Like every time I peek at the score, it was 2-0, I think, early, or was that early 2-0? I peek over and he's already got his 2 points, and whatever it was, the first or early second, I can't remember exactly how the game broke down. I was just watching on my phone, but he's an absolute machine, and I'm sure we're going to start to see that number creep higher and higher in terms of odds. So I'd say get on it while you can, while it's still decent value.
Yeah, they were down.
Remember last year, some of the numbers we were getting?
It was like last year. Were we not looking at, like, was McDavid over 1.5 last year? Not like minus 143, like minus 150?
Yeah, I think it was like, I remember last year being like, you almost had to take him for 3 points because it was so absurd, like the numbers you were getting on just 2 points. So, yeah, I mean, he's a 2-point machine. I think Kucherov had another big night. McKinnon had a couple points. So, we'll see how that Art Ross race shakes out. I talked about it yesterday, but Connor's not going to play himself out of it, like whether he manages to catch those guys or not, he's not gonna really. I don't think he's gonna fade further away from that. No. Is all I'm trying to say.
No, I think what he probably needs, and he does have games in hand on him, probably needs them to each go in like a week-long slump, and that's about it. And he could track those guys down. So that's something that we can certainly look at down the stretch. I was just gonna go back to the game because you said it seemed like it happened so quickly. They were down 1-0, but then by the end of the first period, he had an assist on the Draisaitl goal, and he had an assist on the Nugent Hopkins goal. So just like that, by the end of the first period, the over 1.5 had already covered as well. What I do want, I don't know, somebody in the nasty chat can get me the update. I want to know if anybody went after that. What was the crazy one that we saw last night? Here it is, Duck Dad. Yeah, here it is, Duck Dad. Good, I got the update. I wasn't sure if I saw it earlier. I hadn't scrolled up yet on the chat. Duck Dad says, went 9 of 11 on my under 1.5 points ticket. Vetrano and Kyrou. I should have known, but I hit the plus 764 Rangers in regulation, Tampa Bay money line, Nucks money line, and the Firebirds in regulation in the AHL for a plus night. Patty Nose Puck also helped. Yeah, the Patty Nose Puck one ended up hitting as well. 9 of 11. Man, I really like that at the 11. I'm going to, next time there's a big slate, I'm going to do one of these under 1.5 point parlays and take a run at it. I think that's a great idea. I love it. So
yeah, one of the things we did earlier this year, remember that 16 game slate in the NHL, and they did the whole different broadcast on I think it was TNT or whoever, ESPN or whoever it was. Me and my buddies we all drew for a couple games, and we all put in an anytime goal scorer. We had like 16, just a sprinkle, obviously, responsibly. Yeah. And you're just like, you got some long shots, and a couple long shots hit. You really only need 4 or 5 to hit for a plus night. And that was as long as you're putting down the same amount kind of for every bet, but that was a really fun time we had earlier this year. So yeah, a little stuff like that. You got to be responsible, obviously. Like that's the number one thing when it comes to betting anything. But if you're being responsible, you can still have a good time with it as well.
My buddy, speaking of being responsible, this is a guy we talked about on the show around November. I refer to him now on this program and Edmonton Sports Talk as Eddie the Gambler, because he hit a couple of huge NBA parlays right around the Grey Cup. He texted me last night. I get this text at 3:01 in the morning. He's out east. He wasn't able to sleep after working late. And he was on a tennis parlay with 12 players, had no idea who they were, half men, half women. And he bet 20 on it. Ended up riding it, and then cashed out. This was out in Ontario. Cashed out when he'd hit like 3/4 of them. Actually decided to mail it in, cashed out, did pretty well on it. But the classic middle of the night tennis parlay, I got a lot of time for that. I used to be that guy in Fort Mac back in the day, because you can literally find something to bet on at any time of the day, can't you, Jake?
Yeah, we used to bet overnight KBO. I had a guy on Twitter that I followed that would post KBO picks, and we would Korean baseball, and I would text the boys and I'd say, okay, here's the pick for tonight. And then I'd say, let's wake up rich. And you wake up and there'd be extra money in your account. It's like you just I wouldn't even follow the games, which, I guess it's a little degenerate action, but I think we've all been there, little Russian ping pong here and there, all that is what Huss talks about, the wild world of sports. You can really get to anything. But yeah, like I said, just stay responsible, but you can always have a good time, especially if you're in the group chats. If you don't have a group chat, like get together with a few buddies that are betting, and it's always good to exchange picks, whether you're going to ride them or not. It's fun to keep in touch with your buddies and get on some picks together, and especially when you guys win, it's even more of a good time.
That very much helps when you win, especially as a group. I would say, including the lock shop group that we have, I probably got like 3 or 4 separate sports betting group chats with different groups of buddies. And, it's just good conversation, man. I'm sure many of you watching or listening right now have the same thing. And it's, you work together, hit a couple. It certainly makes for a pretty good evening. Hey, speaking of pretty good evenings, Austin Matthews, natural hat trick, on pace for 71 goals. I know somebody this morning on the Nielsen show was asking if Coolbet's got anything up for Matthews to hit 70. That's something you guys would have to monitor quite a bit. You might have had it at the beginning of the year in some futures. Not 100% sure, but sure looks like he's going to take a good run at it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't even know. Did they talk about the last time someone hit 70? I think it was.
It was the last time I was 12 years old, but I remember it because it was a phenomenal season. Teemu Selanne, Alexander Mogilny,
right.
They both did it in 92, 93. Selanne as a rookie with a record that will never, ever, ever be touched. It was just an insane season. That was the shooting of the glove and all that stuff. But yeah, you have to go back to 92, 93. Guys have had great goal scoring seasons. I mean, guys have hit 60. Matthews is at 60. McDavid's hit 60. Ovi's hit 60. Stamkos has hit 60. Lots of guys have hit 60. And I'm not a big Toronto Leafs guy. I'm kind of the anti-Leafs guy and the anti-Matthews guy. But I got a lot of time following a push to 70 goals, man. And he is, we talked about it today. We had Darren Dreger on the Nielsen show this morning. And one of the things that Drake's talked about, Cheryl Pounder last night in the broadcast, was pointing out that he scored from the left side, scored from right up the middle of the ice, scored a one-timer on the power play from the right side. The guy in this season alone, it's undebatable. He's the best goal scorer in the National Hockey League right now.
Yeah, you should hear me when he scores these goals, man. Like I'm hysterically laughing in my living room here watching. It's it's fun to watch. It's a ton of fun to watch. I know there was a lot of back and forth last year because McDavid had a huge goal year. I know you guys were talking big on, who the best goal scorer is, but Austin Matthews, I think that's his 5th hat trick this year. First time since 2005. I think Jonathan Chichu did it. 2005-06 season. So, he's kind of cementing himself as, that upper echelon of goal scoring right now. And that's the best thing about you, Dusty, is you can put it aside, whether it comes to rivalry, or it's not even really a rivalry with Edmonton and Toronto. It's just like we both got the superstars, and it's like it's always a back and forth of who's better. But you are a fan of greatness, and that's what I respect about you. You're always like to watch the chase.
The anti-Leafs play comes from me growing up a Habs fan. That's why I can't stand the Leafs. But Austin Matthews is doing phenomenal things this year. The craziest thing about the Austin Matthews thing that I don't think we're really discussing, and last year, Connor McDavid ended up with well more than 20 goals more than Austin Matthews. So last year it was kind of a different conversation.
Right.
This year it looks like it's going to go exactly the other way. He's got 45 goals in 51 games. He only had 40 in 74 games last year. So as somebody who watches a lot of the Leafs, what was up last year that just wasn't there for him? Because that's quite this. I don't know. He's going to go 60, 40, possibly 70, probably at least 65. So what was up last year?
Yeah, listen, that's the big thing with Matthews is the health factor. I think this year he's 100% healthy. He came into the season 100% healthy, and it's showing like what his level can get to. You saw, I think he opened the season with a hat trick in the first, like 2 hat tricks in the first, couple weeks. So a lot of it has to do with health. I don't think he came into the previous season at 100% and felt like he never really got there. We saw flashes, but this year it's just been a totally different beast. Like when he's 100% healthy and he stays healthy, like he is capable of, like you said, like we're pacing for 70 right now, 51 games into the season. That's pretty deep into the season. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, I'm hoping that it happens, but I'm biased. My buddy actually jumped on a bet at another book, which I'm not gonna promote other books on here, but it was Matthews to score 15 plus in the month of February, and he's like, it's just going to take a couple hat tricks, like maybe. And then last night he scores a hat trick, and he's texting us. He's like, only need like 10 more or something. It was like, oh my gosh. Like, can you imagine? It was like 29-1, Dusty, like 30 to 1.
That's
and
a
he
big
put
one.
Like a bonus bet on it, $10 bonus bet for 290 or something.
Yeah.
So.
Geez, so he's fully invested.
And he's a Habs fan, so that'll be fun.
Oh God,
Yeah,
what a sick bastard. That's unbelievable. It is the Lock Shop here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Edmonton Sports Talk on location today for the Lock Shop and the Oil Stream. Tommy Gazzola is going to come on down and join me. I kind of got like a love seat chair here for Tommy Gazzola when he slides in. Maybe we'll cuddle in that together. Tommy's going to be here for the Oil Stream coming up a little bit later on. But we are at 17303 100th Ave for the free RV show. A bunch of different RV dealers set up in here. They've got a bunch of they got the lawn. They got anything you need for camping. They've got for you right down here, including some massive fifth wheels, some regular trailers. I saw a van over there that looks like you can live in it, which is kind of cool. I might actually check that
van
one out.
Down by the river.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if what was his name? Not far. Like what was? Remember the character's name? Oh, it's gonna kill me. Somebody text in.
Someone tell us in the chat. They're gonna get this.
Matt Foley.
There you go.
If Matt Foley had a van like the one just on the other side over here, he would not have been complaining about living in a van down by the river because it's amazing. But 17303 100th Ave, swing on by. Free RV show today from 10 to 8. Then again on Saturday from 10 to 6. And then on Sunday from 11 to 4. And right when you come in, if you walk straight in, they do have an RV that they're giving away. You scan a QR code and you get entered into the draw. And hey, maybe you win one for free. I know a lot of people just like entering free draws. So come on down, enter the free draw. Check out some of the other stuff they got here. And we'll be here for the Oil Stream today too as well. Lunchtime if you want to swing on by. And who knows? Maybe bring the boys some Arby's. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens today. But you can swing on by here. You can text us anytime. Lock Shop 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. This text is in. It says, "Hey Dusty, do you like Tiger over 3.5 birdies today? What'd you think of the Tiger shank, Jake? Did you catch that last night?"
Yeah, I needed a birdie for the under 70 and a half first round score, and that kind of put it all away. It's unfortunate because when Tiger we get like very glimpse flashes, like just a little glimpse into like what could be, but then I got a report yesterday. It was like dealing with back spasms, and it's like I don't know if they're media just wants to report on an injury to like kind of save face, but it kind of sucks when you're sitting there and you want Tiger to be Tiger just one more time, and I'm selfish. It's like if he's Tiger one more time, then you're going to want him to be Tiger one more time again. But yeah. I don't know. It's unfortunate that we're at a point where it's like it feels like after every tournament or after every couple rounds, it's like, well, he's still dealing with this, and I get it. I mean, all the surgeries he's done and what he's gone through to still be playing is miraculous. And we should just be happy he's out there. But I think a lot of us still believe I think mentally he's got that level of competing. It's just what the body allows him to do at this point.
Yesterday, and Tiger has yet to tee off today. Yesterday, Tiger had 5 birdies to go along with 6 bogeys. Comes in at 1 over. Over. I could see him banging out 4 or 5 birdies again, 100%. But the bogeys are going to come. But if you just get on the birdies play, I don't think that's the worst idea in the world. Just a quick look at the leaderboard. Then we'll get into that one game tonight, the National Hockey League. We'll dive into the association AllStar Weekend coming up here as well, and we'll talk a little bit about some NBA futures maybe at the midway point here. Right now, Luke List leads the way, 9 under. Jason Day, 9 under as well. Cantlay has yet to tee off. He was 7 under yesterday. Ken Davis was 6 under yesterday. Zalatoris, even so far today, 5 under. Mac Hughes, the high Canadian now after a nice day today. He started well. He's 3 under through 7. 5 under for the tournament. Spieth is 5 under, hasn't teed off just yet. Scotty Scheffler is 4 under, 1 under for today as well. Svensson, the other Canadian, 4 under. Tony Finau, who started yesterday with an eagle, ended up just finishing the day -1. He started well again. He's 2 under through 9. He sits at 3 under for the tournament. Xander's at 2 under. Morikawa's at 2 under as well. So a lot of these guys still waiting to tee off today. And on the Tiger watch, Rory's 1 over, 2 under today, though. Tough day yesterday. Tiger will tee off in about an hour and a half. So something to keep tabs on this afternoon for you if you want. Rod Z's got the NLL weekend triple in the Nasty Chat. I'm going to hit that before we slide on over to the National Hockey League tonight. NLL weekend triple. Halifax versus Buffalo, over 24.5. The Rock -1.5. And on Saturday, Calgary moneyline versus Halifax in Calgary. 3-team parlay plus 574 at Coolbet. So Rod Z sliding in. You know who would love that? P. Greggy would love that, wouldn't he, Jake?
Absolutely, yeah. P. Greggy loves any NLL talk, so I'm glad to see the chats getting involved. Rod Z, the legend Rod Z, always got something for us, so I appreciate that.
Get us those trends today, Rod.
Weekend of NLL, we got a ton of hockey tomorrow, but we'll figure out what we're going to do tonight and get us into the weekend here.
All right, one game tonight in the National Hockey League. It's an interesting one too. Carolina, pretty big favorite on the road here, -199 going up against the Arizona Coyotes. The Coyotes playing 167 plus 167 as an underdog tonight. I think I saw a few people with some interesting. Here we are. Spency 5 Centsy in the Nasty Chat says, I like Natchez over 0.5 points at -130 on Coolbet, averaging a point per game in his last 9, has 4 points in his last 2 games against Arizona. So if you're looking for just a player prop tonight, might want to get on Marty Natchez, who still pretty decent value considering he's been playing pretty well as of late. In this head-to-head, if you just kind of take a look back at the last 10, that takes you all the way back to 18. If you just go back to the 2020 season, Carolina has won 6 of the last 7 versus the Arizona Coyotes. The Hurricanes coming off a 4-2 loss against Dallas. Dallas dropping a 9 spot on the Preds yesterday. Prior to the loss to Dallas, Carolina had a 1-0 overtime win against New Jersey. They beat Colorado 5-2, lost to the Canucks, but who doesn't right now, which is insane. And then they did beat the Coyotes 3-1. This was all at home. They beat New Jersey 3-2. Beat Boston in Boston. So Carolina's been playing some pretty good hockey outside of that loss to Dallas lately. The Coyotes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses in a row for the Coyotes. 5 of those on the road, 2 of them at home. Most recently on Valentine's Day, a 3-1 loss to Minnesota. Jake, when the Coyotes have been struggling as much as they are, and you get this Carolina team that's been playing pretty good hockey as of late, it doesn't surprise me to see that number at -199. But any thoughts on what the play in this game might be?
Yeah, I mean, I love a home dog, but I don't think I love the home Coyote.
Not right now,
tonight.
really.
No, it's hard. It's hard to bet on a team that's lost 7 in a row. Like that locker room's battling right now. It's hard to motivate a team when they're down in the dumps like this. So I actually shoot my eyes to the total. You move that total to 6.5. And take the under at -128. I don't hate that move. Carolina plays, kind of I hate to say it, a more boring brand of hockey. They don't allow a ton of shots. They get solid goaltending on a nightly basis. My only concern would be the Canes lighting them up. But, I don't see the Canes being, light the world on fire in terms of scoring. So that's one that caught my eye. I think it's +100 if you take it at 6. You look at the Canes' last few here. They scored, lost 4-2, So they scored 2. They beat the Devils 1-0. They beat the Avs 5-2. Lost to the Canucks 3-2. Yotes, who they beat 3-1. Devils, who they beat 3-2. So, we're staying right under that 6 in, what's that, 5 of the last 6?
Well, yeah, I've got it right here. 6 of their last 7, they finished under the total. So
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where I think I'd lean total tonight. Like I said, you can move it up to the 6.5. If you prefer a better number, you can take the 6. And we're seeing a push with 6 total goals. So that's where my brain goes. I think I saw in the chat they were talking Canes and Reg maybe. I can't get behind the Yotes right now. They're just not playing great hockey, and when they're on a skid like this, you can try to guess which night they're going to come out of it, but not for me. Not for me.
I love the regulation bets. I like Carolina in regulation here, minus 119 against the Coyotes. That's pretty good. That's pretty good value. If you're looking to make the play there. I don't know if do we want to put together like Carolina in regulation under 6.5, sort of like mini in-game parlay for a lock shot partner parlay today, and maybe
I think
we
we could
take
definitely do something.
Let's go Marty Natchez over a 0.5 point too, because we had that trickle in a little bit.
Okay, so Natchez for a point.
Yeah.
Canes and Reg.
Yeah.
And the under 6.5.
Under 6.5.
Oh.
Let's do that. How about that? We get
all right. I can get that.
One game today in the National Hockey League, and we still managed to put together a little bit of a partner parlay. So that's clutch move by 2 veteran guys who are getting through a show here on a Friday with one game in the National Hockey League. Tonight, Spency 5 cents. He says Canes puck line at plus 129 isn't too shabby either. Might not be a bad play considering they beat Arizona 3-1 just a couple of weeks ago. Over in the NBA, they return to action on February 22nd because it is AllStar Weekend. And if you go to Coolbet right now, first of all, if you go to Coolbet, sign up for an account, use the code LOCKSHOP when you do, all one word. You'll get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. If you want to dive into NBA All-Star Weekend, you can certainly do that as well. Lots of things to get to on the State Farm All-Star Saturday night, which, of course, would include the 4-man dunk contest between Mac McClung, Jacob Toppin, Jaylen Brown, and Jaquez Jr., with Mac McClung, the defending champion, being a huge favorite at minus 238. Let's just start with NBA All-Star Weekend in general. I don't usually have a lot of time for any All-Star Weekend. NHL All-Star Weekend this year, well done. Outside of clunkiness of the draft, I thought it was an outstanding weekend. But I am a sucker for a good dunk contest, so I'm looking forward to that this weekend. Jake, being in the 6, Raptorsville, where are you at on NBA All-Star Weekend?
Yeah, it's kind of losing its luster for me. You find the older you get, these things don't seem as not that impressive, because there's still a lot of impressive talent, in these leagues, but it's just like the allure of the whole thing doesn't really hit the same. I find the dunk contest is in a poor era. I think I saw someone say on Twitter, I'm not sure where it was, but just say that, we might be in the worst era of dunk contests right now. And it's no fault to the players, but no one wants to compete. So we have Mac McClung's a G leaguer. Jacob Toppin is a G leaguer. I think he's played 3 games in the NBA this year. And then you get a big name like Jaylen Brown, and then Jaime Jaquez on Miami. He's a rookie. He's a great player. But I just, we used to have the big dunk contests. You think about, that Levine, Aaron Gordon one really brought the dunk contest back. That was so much fun. And then it's kind of just, McClung had a really awesome showing last year, but he just doesn't have that name, the namesake to bring people to the contest, even off a win, in the previous year. So, for me, it's tough to get behind everything. The one that I am looking at, though, Dusty, and I know we'll probably touch on a few of these, but this Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry 3-point challenge, I'm very interested in. I think this all started with Sabrina had an unreal showing last year at the WNBA All-Star game. Set the world on fire. Huge score. I think she missed like only 2 balls out of all the racks total. And then, there was talk about, she wanted Curry, and Curry was like, we might have to make that happen. And to see her number at plus 156, I don't hate the value. Like she's going to be wanting to win this competition. And I wouldn't be surprised, if Curry misses a few early, in a strong effort, if he kind of turns it off a little later. I don't really know exactly how it's going to look. I think that initially she was going to shoot, she was going to shoot with the WNBA ball from their 3-point line. She said she'd move back to the NBA line. So there's a few factors. I haven't delved deep into them, but I am interested in the value, plus 156. It was actually even lower, so it's gone up. I guess people got on Curry in the last little bit here, but I don't mind Ionescu plus 156 to win. I think it can go either way. I truly do. I think she's an incredible shooter. I understand why Curry's favored. He's, we're talking about one of the greatest shooters of all time, but in a competition like this, don't be surprised if she's, raising a little trophy or whatever it ends up being tomorrow night.
If you have any NBA All-Star Weekend plays, hit us up right now at 780-218-9999 or in the Nasty Chat as well. You just make a good case for the head-to-head there. They do have the 3-point contest as well. I'm just taking a look at the 3-point percentages of everybody in the contest this year. And here's how it's broken down right now. Karl Anthony Towns plus 475, Beasley plus 525, Halliburton plus 525, Damian Lillard plus 550, Trae Young plus 575, Lauri Markkanen is 6-1, Brunson is 6-1, and Donovan Mitchell is plus 750 right now. Their 3-point percentages so far this season, and obviously, it's not a direct correlation, different situations, clearly. But Damian Lillard's only shooting 34.4% from beyond the arc this year. Halliburton's at 40%. Trae Young's at 37%. Malik Beasley of the Bucks is at 44.9%. He's been shooting the ball insanely well so far this season. Brunson's having a nice year, huge year with the Knicks. He's shooting 41% from beyond the arc. Karl Anthony Towns, who is the favorite in this event, is shooting 43.6%. Markkanen is 40.4%, and Donovan Mitchell shooting 36% from the land of the three so far. So Karl Anthony Towns, who is the favorite, has the second best shooting percentage of everybody in the contest. Malik Beasley shooting almost 45% so far this year, and Beasley is second at plus 525. If Rod Z could pull out an NBA All-Star Weekend trend for us, that would be an all-time clutch move. I do like Beasley. I think I like Markkanen at 6-1 as well. And even Karl Anthony Towns, I know you're a favorite, but plus 475 basically says, Jake, this thing's completely wide open.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think Towns won a couple years back. Dame won, I believe, last year. But you said he hasn't been shooting the three as well. It's totally different though, right? I mean, we're talking about in-game threes. You think about the pressure that Dame would see in a game from beyond the arc. These are open threes. These are quick release. How well can players kind of replicate that stroke? From the different areas of the court. So I don't mind Dame at 55 plus 550 there. Even Donovan at 70 at plus 750. I think he won maybe in the bubble, or he's been competed in the past, maybe not won, but you really it's a crapshoot, right? You don't know who's going to come out and kind of light the world on fire. You don't know how hard these guys are going to go as well. We saw what happened with Kucherov in the NHL skills there. I don't even know how the odds makers come to get these numbers, if I'm being completely honest with you. But Dame was a name that caught my eye. Donovan, as the longest shot guy by a good little while there. I don't mind that either. But if you're playing any of these, make sure you're just sprinkling. I wouldn't be wagering a bunch of the account on NBA All-Star Weekend. That's all I'd say.
The slam dunk contest, like we said, heavy favorite in Mac McClung. And, because we are kind of sickos, Tommy's just here. I'm helping him set up the internet. Arcane courtesy. And that's the password. Don't tell anybody. I did dive into, I went down a bit of a dunk contest hole last night.
Okay.
Which it was kind of entertaining. I rewatched every dunk that McClung had in last year's game. And then I went as far as watching Jacob Toppin G League dunks so far this season. And in this type of situation, I mean, McClung is a dunker. That's why they get him into this contest. And he lived up to the hype last year. And he's a little guy. Toppin 6'6". I see the same sort of thing here with Toppin, the G League guy comes in because he's a great dunker. So I don't mind maybe sprinkling him a little bit, but he's long, like he's lanky. And I was watching that, and I always feel those guys. That's why I was always so impressed with Aaron Gordon in the dunk contest, because for a big man, he could throw things down. Dwight Howard was a giant. I don't know if I ever really loved any of his dunks. I know he got the Superman cape and all that type of stuff. But I'm somewhat intrigued by Toppin. Interesting to see Jaylen Brown, who is a star in the NBA, mix himself in here with some of these younger and G League guys. But I hope they put on a hell of a show. I don't mind Toppin at plus 350, but it's going to be tough to look more impressive than McClung because he's so damn little and can dunk so bloody hard.
Well, you think about some of the smaller guys that won. Remember Nate Robinson winning? I think he won a couple years. I'm trying to think who else. I wasn't.
Spud Webb.
I wasn't
Spud Webb
super
was a little guy. Was always spectacular.
I wasn't super in love with Blake Griffin's dunks the year he won. Like you said, Dwight Howard didn't really do it for me either. I agree. It's going to be hard to beat McClung off the performance he put on last year. But, I think it's come to the dunk contest where it's like, what haven't we seen? It's hard to impress people at this point because everything's kind of already been done. So it's like, can you do something that's already been done, but make it, tweak it and make it a little bit better, a little bit cleaner? Because you remember when Vince won, like how clean his dunks were. It wasn't just the skill of how he dunked the ball. It was how clean the ball went through the hoop. And sometimes that makes all the difference. Like how easy they make it look, where, sometimes guys will go up, they'll do an awesome dunk, but, it'll kind of bump rim a little, or, they don't get it kind of that nice, like, you know what I mean? Like that nice push through the rim. And it's like, oh, like, when it's a good dunk because you can just, the whole process is so clean. But I also think the scoring becomes a bit like, there was some stuff a few years back. I can't remember who was in it, but Dwayne Wade gave a guy a 7 when he clearly Wade had a better dunk. Yeah. And it was just like, well, what are we doing here? Like, it's not even, we're not even going to like, it's just celebrity. It's all celebrity judges, right? So it's like, why don't we have people out here who like, there's something worth judging a good dunk contest, and then maybe the odds are a little different. But I just think it's one of those things where the celebrity judges are already going to be, like impartial to McClung, and that's why you're seeing the number where it is. Minus 238. I think it was minus 222 yesterday, so it's jumped even from there.
The thing that always still impresses me back to this day, and usually around this time of year, I'll go back and rewatch the Vince Carter dunk contest. And I said this morning, Tracy McGrady was awesome in that dunk contest too, but Vince just took it to a completely another level. And once again, maybe a little bit more thrilling because T-Mac was a little bit of a lankier, bigger guy, so it didn't look as spectacular. But Tracy McGrady had some insane dunks in that dunk contest as well. But the thing with Vince, when you've seen people come since his dunk contest, is that he just did it with raw athleticism. There was no props. There was nothing along those lines. Like, it was just straight up Vince Carter and a basketball, and he was absolutely ridiculous. Like the one from behind the hoop that was like a reverse windmill was insane. The elbow dunk didn't look impressive until you saw it in the replay, and you're like, this dude was hanging from his elbow on the rim, which was absolutely insane as well. So there's lots to get to there in the NBA if you want to hop in on the
Well, and I
All-Star.
think Dusty, I think that should be another factor, and I don't know that it is, but replays should help you. I don't know if you remember, Gerald Green went up and he blew out the candle.
Yes.
It was his birthday on the dunk contest, and he blew out the candle, and I think he ended up getting like a weak score on it. But you saw on the replay, like he went up, his mouth was at the rim, he blew out the candle, then dunked the ball. Like it was super impressive. And I think he got robbed that dunk contest. I was a big Gerald Green dunk contest fan. I thought he put on great shows. But yeah, I'm hard pressed to even watch these dunk contests as of late. Like I said, the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine one was awesome. I thought Aaron Gordon got robbed at that one, although Zach was incredible. And it's hard to get behind it. Sorry, if you notice me not watching, I'm actually trying to put in our parlay here and send it over for anybody watching. Dusty, we should get to the PWHL tonight. It's a big game. They're doing it down at Scotiabank. The boys were talking about it in the chat. They wanted a 5.5 total number. We got that online. I saw they were talking about it.
Oh, I see it's up there now. Yeah, 5.5, under 5.5 minus 189. Yes.
Yeah, they're calling it the battle on Bay Street. Montreal in Toronto. They say it's going to be a sold-out crowd at Scotiabank tonight. Some of the Leafs guys have got a box. They've been super supportive of the PWHL, and they're going to be there, rooting on the girls from a box. I think that would be a fun experience. If you have the means, you get down to Scotiabank, you get in the box, you have some drinks, and you just root on the girls tonight. So, the line's up. Toronto, slight favorite, minus 123. We got the total goals number there at 4.5. The under being plus 117, over minus 156. And then a total goals number is up now for 5.5 as well, over plus 140, under is minus 189. So I think you can parlay those. I know that's probably what some of the boys were looking to do, but should be another awesome event this weekend. NHL battle on Bay Street, especially on a night was not a whole lot going on, right? I mean, I think the NBA Skills has the Rising Stars tonight, and then it's the one NHL game at 9, and we got this this PWHL game at 7. So outside of that and some NLL, might be worth watching.
Has the spotlight, right? Has the spotlight a little bit tonight.
Yeah, like I did watch early on. I think the season opener, and it's a lot more physical than previous women's hockey, and they kind of promote it as that. I know Chicklets had Sarah Nurse on, and they were talking about when we're going to see visors in the PWHL. It sounds like they're pushing for that as well. It's been a great story, and I hope for it to continue. I think Toronto's been hot from all the reports that I've heard. Natalie Spooner's lighting up the league right now, so might be worth sprinkling a little bit of that and throwing on some PWHL this evening and seeing how good that atmosphere is going to be down in Scotiabank.
We have not had Huss this week, and I'm not sure I necessarily missed Huss right after the Super Bowl because I saw enough Chiefs love online that it was okay that we didn't get that, and then you miss Huss throughout the week talking NHL, obviously. I think what I miss Huss most for, though, would have been his pre-Scotties Tournament of Hearts curling bets. Nobody is the foremost leader in betting curling in this country beyond the level that Huss does it at. And he's not here to give us the breakdown this week. We talked about it a little bit on the Nielsen show earlier today. Mr. Lean sort of hopped into that a little bit as well. But I cannot wait for Huss to be back next week for no reason other than giving us the latest on the Scotties. Yeah,
it's another big event this weekend. We got the Draw 1 starting tonight at 8:00. Over in Calgary. So ton of fun. I got a chance to go to a live curling event earlier. I guess it was last year down in out in Oakville, and it was a ton of fun. It's it doesn't quite do it justice on TV. It's super impressive. And once you learn the strategy a bit of the game and, how they're playing certain things and, the certain rules, it becomes a lot more impressive. So yeah, if you're a fan of curling, even if you're not a fan of curling, we have so many odds for the Scotties. Our guy, Matty Hall, puts together a great offering for these big events. We'll have a ton for the Brier as well. Also, I gotta mention one. The name is One in the nasty chat. It bullies me. It bullies me frequently about. He calls me three eyebrows because he says my mustache looks like my third eyebrow, which is it's all fun and games. I'm just teasing. But yeah, he said, "What's the over under on days he keeps the mustache?" I think he's trying to pull me into shaving. I just want to let you know, One, my girlfriend is a big fan of the mustache. That's the reason why I have it. So likely sticking around for the foreseeable future.
It's not going anywhere, hey?
No, I do. And a little disclosure between me and you and the nasties. I do get the unibrow hair growing in, so I am kind of frequently plucking the unibrow. So I could end up being, if I let it go, I could end up being an old two eyebrows, one here and then one here.
Two mustaches, basically, at that point.
Yeah, two mustaches, exactly.
I can't believe Patty and Huss missed the confession of the unibrow. I mean, that's
it's
big.
All good.
We're in a safe place here. We're in a safe place on the lock shop today. All right, before we wrap up today, one more time, we're going to be here for the oil stream as well. But we are at the Free RV show today. Swing on by 17303 100th Ave. 10 to 8 today, 10 to 6 on Saturday, 11 to 4 on Sunday. And we're set up here. We'll put a picture a little bit later on. We're set up on this deck, which came together super quickly. Block deck. Is it block deck? Block deck, right? Yeah, block deck. You can check it out. It's pretty cool. If you have a trailer already and you're looking to put together a deck out there, this is nice. This is a high quality deck right here.
I think you get the sign behind you there, Dusty. I think it says block deck right behind you.
Yeah, block deck right there. BLOKDEK is where you can find more information on that. And they set it up where the table is here. So thanks to them for swinging on by today and making sure that works. And you'll see a few of their decks kicking around here as well. But we're going to be here for the oil stream. Fergie's prostate popped by. Got us on the hangout. Fergie came in here, bought 2 trailers, and walked out the door. Unbelievable, this guy. It's great. But one more time, it's the Free RV Show. For more details, you can just hop online. freervshow.ca, 17303 100th Ave on the West End, 10 to 8 today, 10 to 6 on Saturday, and 11 to 4 on Sunday. I know they were very busy last weekend, and they're hoping to have another busy weekend this weekend as well. And it's not just the RVs. They got all the camping stuff that you would need here. They got the chairs. They got, it's almost like a mini market over there. You can put in an entry to do a draw for a free RV. So if you're on the West End, you want to swing by, just pop in, come check it out, and go and scan the QR code and enter to win one of the free RVs right over there as well. Heck, I might even do that. You never know. Tammy would be so pumped if I was just like, got a call next week and was like, hey, you want a free RV? What? That'd be amazing. At that point, I'd have to start camping. I don't know when I'm going to find the time for that. But in some of these units, you can get that Starlink internet. You got a better internet connection than Jake does in Toronto, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, I know. I was glitching out pretty good today. What
do you use for your internet?
Well, we have Rogers, which I mean is supposed to be, cream of the crop, top level. But yeah, we've had a little bit of issues. My buddy, my roommate's like hardwired in, so he gets it pretty good. But yeah, sometimes the problem is I'm also on the Coolbet VPN, and I think that causes a little bit of.
That's probably what that is. I would think that makes sense.
But I need it to be able to see Coolbet because you can't access it on Ontario.
Oh,
so,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's a little behind the scenes for you guys. I got to jump on the VPN and so I can see the odds. So yeah, that's why it's like that sometimes. But I work with what I got.
To get through it. Managed to get through it.
Yeah, I'll give you the old play of the day reminder now. I'll probably text you later on as well.
I was gonna say, if you could text me like at 1:00 Mountain Time, I'll fire something back right away for you. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I never know what time, and I hate texting twice. Yeah. I'm like, this sucks. Well, yes, like when you need something from someone, and you're like, I don't want to double text this guy. Like he's busy enough. Like,
but anyway. I feel like a dick when you have to double text me because I'm like, especially when I reply to you and like, yeah, I'll get it, and then you text again like 40 minutes later. You're like, hey man, play the day. I'm like, oh damn it. Yesterday I had a crazy busy day after the show. Finally get home. laid down in the basement to have a nap. I lay down and I look at my phone and you text me like, hey man, serve the reminder. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I had to get back up and go get it done. But you know what happened? We delivered a winner. Bouchard over 0.5 assists. That cash, and hopefully we'll do it again today. It's been a pretty good week for the.
I think you've hit 3 in a row.
Yeah, it has been
for the record.
Has been 3 in a row. Missed the first one. So hoping to finish strong here as well. That is going to do Raj H says, Dusty, how long are you there for? I may pop by to say hi. Love the shows. Raj, we are here until 1 o'clock today. We got the oil stream coming up here during the noon hours. So if you are around at lunchtime, you want to pop by, enter into that draw for that free RV when you come down here as well. That's going to do it for the Lock Shop today. Oil stream coming up. Tommy Gazzola is here, ready to go. Tommy, you think we should both slide into this? No, you don't think so? We can. You're very comfortable right now the way it is? Okay, fine. I'm good too. This chair's heated, so I'm living the good life as well. Edmonton Sports Talk continues from the free RV show here on the West End. That'll do it for the Lock Shop today. Thank you very much for joining us today. Good luck tonight if you're on something, and we will talk to you on Tuesday after the long weekend.